So good afternoon and welcome back. Sorry for the short delay, but we're back with the action of World Rules Pool Tour Event 3. This is Gareth Hibbott versus Harjeet Singh. I'm joined on commentary by Sean Chipperfield. How you doing?
All good. Yep, thank you. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, should be a good game.
Should be. Who broke them? Gaz.
That was Gaz. And so Gaz, obviously people will be familiar with Gareth if they follow pool in any way, shape or form. He's from somewhere between here and Stoke-on-Trent. I don't know exactly where, but I know he's kind of...
Is he Lancashire way?
Yeah, I think he is
so.
that kind of way.
Yeah.
And Harjeet from the southwest, from the Bristol area. Quite a few of the Singhs come from around there, don't they? All part of Partab, I think, as well.
Yeah, Harjeet's a very good player. This has got the potential to be a really good first round match.
Yeah. Yeah, really. It's not a opening draw that either one of them would have liked. Oh, there we go. Someone letting us know that Gaz is from Southport.
Lancashire. So he's gone yellow, so he needs to... he's just missed that.
He needs to put that one in the middle.
Yeah, that'd have been a good start. But I think he was trying to come down maybe for the one on the right rail, to then leave the one in the middle with an angle just to drift over for the awkward one.
Yeah.
But now he's obviously missed that, so Harjeet's got the same problem. He may choose to play this off the yellow, just free that awkward red up.
Yeah, not a shot you want to play now, though, is it? You want to be behind it, don't you?
It's one of them where if he's going to leave the white on the left-hand side table to play the red to the right corner to go into the yellow and red, you want to play that as early as possible to give yourself options to land on another ball, because that red to the just above the black is obviously a little bit awkward. So ideally, he wants to get down there as soon as possible. But looking at them four reds at the top, he's probably going to have to pot one and then another one to get down here. So just got to think about it.
Yeah, it was just looking at the angle on the red, just to the left of the black spot, and playing. So attacking the problem from the bottom side rather than the top side, and obviously it's because the yellow's acting as a goalkeeper, isn't it? You need to come at it from behind to be able to get it out properly.
Yeah, you can't go into it coming down the table, because there's a good chance the yellow will go in as well. So
left a nice angle.
Yeah, he's just got to play at a fairly hard pace just to make sure the white comes out.
Yeah, doesn't want to contact the red full ball, does he? Kind of a half ball glance to make sure that the white comes out.
Yeah, if he catches, he wants to catch the yellow, so he wants to catch the yellow just on the right hand side as we look. Push the red up the table, and the white will go up with it. Just like that, perfect.
Very nice.
But now, of course, what I said earlier about that red above the black, he's now got to go down for that probably last ball.
Yeah.
That's what made the whole clearance tricky, because of the way he had to play that cannon. Whereas when Gareth went yellows, his cannon on that ball was a lot easier because of where his yellows were. So, but obviously he missed the easy yellow in the middle to start with.
This just looks a bit straight, this, doesn't it, to be ideal. Whether he can punch across, hard to see from that angle.
He's probably going to go top right, top left, top right, and rely on a good positional shot last ball.
Obviously that 1:30 session is very much in play. Been in play for a good half an hour, and we'll run through some of those scores in just a couple of minutes. So So Carl Sutton did go through. Alex Bailey went through. We saw Jack Whelan go through. John Chapman beat Jack Hallowell. Scott Yardley went through. Craig Lakin beat Elliot Coombe.
So he's just come too straight on this red, so he's got a very tough shot here. Whether the red goes bottom left, it might be the only way he can pot this ball, which is where he's leaving his cue now. That might be his only shot.
Greg Batlin currently trailing Neil Toms 2 frames to 1. Lee Kendall's 2-0 up against Mark Price. Arthur Dad in action against Andy Day. He's 3-0.
Not quite enough. He wanted to be a bit further over there. So he's just got to find the line on this. Probably a bit of drag on left hand side, just to kill the white off the 2 cushions. For the black in the right hand corner pocket.
Yeah, it's a tough shot, and it's one of those that you want to focus 100% on the pot, but you can't, because you have to think about the cue ball as well. And it's not really a...
Well, the cue ball will have a pretty natural line, but he's playing at plain ball, so I always like to play this with left hand side just to kill the white. See, the white was running off there, and he hit it thick as well, so he may have been snookered on the black if he'd have popped that.
Yeah. So you don't foresee any mistakes from Gaz from here. He's tends to mop up these chances without any further drama. A simple enough clearance, but obviously...
Yeah, he's taken them well. He's made them look easy, considering it's the first frame.
Yeah.
And, you know, got to get used to the table, so...
Have you managed to hit the table since last weekend, or...?
I had about 20 minutes on the table last night.
Oh, right.
Here.
Yeah.
I haven't played during the week at home. But there's a lot of pool at the minute, so every weekend we're away.
Yeah.
I've been playing quite well recently as well, so I've been going fairly deep.
Yeah.
So I feel like my practice is good enough
just
at the tournaments, really.
Yeah.
So
getting plenty of match play, and obviously, well, I mean, there's no substitute for it, is there?
No, there isn't. Yeah, it's the old saying, but that is true. So yeah, I'm happy with just doing that at the minute. And maybe just get on the table for a half hour before I play a tournament. So.
Yeah. A lot of travelling recently.
Yeah, especially for me from Norwich.
Yeah.
There's a lot of miles done, especially this one. It's a good 5 hours for us.
One of the closest ones for you was London, and that's a bit of a stretch as well, isn't it?
And that was nearly 3.5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right in the heart of London.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit of a nightmare journey. Not a bad break, but again, I feel like there's going to be a lot of dry breaks this weekend. I feel like I think the cloths are probably playing a little bit slower and heavier than what they were the last event.
Yeah, funny enough, Jack just said the same thing. He felt that the table, he thought that the table would play a lot quicker than it did, and it caught him out a little bit.
Yeah, and with that, the pockets play tighter, and you generally will get more dry breaks. And I think you'll see a lot more fudge frames this weekend, because you're going to see balls miss down rails a bit more.
Yeah.
So balls hanging over the bag rather than dropping. So you might see a bit more of the world rule side of things than.
Is that just because the cloths have seen a couple of events now, and
yeah, that's all it is. When people criticise the size of pockets, they only play that big because the cloths are brand new.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's no different to the first round of the World Snooker Championships. You know, the balls are flying in down the rails, and then in week 2, you can't pot one.
And I mean, these tables are rented from Supreme, so I mean, they would have literally gone back into storage since the last event, and probably not seen the light of day. Been in a warehouse somewhere, and then back on the lorry and back to this event for another session.
Yeah, I don't know what the process is with that, but if that's what is the case, then yeah, that doesn't help the cloth.
Yeah.
If they're stored in somewhere damp or whatever. So he's got quite a few problem balls here. I assume he's going to play the plant and hope that the yellow he's hitting first just comes up and rests on that red.
Yeah.
And make sure it still goes. But he's got to play it a little bit firm because he's got to screw the white for the other yellow. So the white doesn't run through. So he might. Yeah, see, it's just gone wrong. You see. So now the clearance is probably not on.
But the problem is there's no tactical shot on either. Now he's
well, if he, yeah, I mean you could just roll this yellow over the corner pocket.
Yeah,
that covers the black, and if he leaves him dead straight on the one down the cushion, he's not got much.
Yeah.
I mean that's a negative way of thinking, but there's not many positive options to be honest from here.
You're not playing that.
No, I'm not, no. We all know I'm not playing that. I'm just trying to make it sound good on commentary. Yeah, he's played the shot I'd have played, but he's just digging himself a hole. So this is what I mean. If you're 3 rounds deep, you've got more control of them shots.
Yeah.
This is his second frame, so it's going to look a bit reckless early on.
Yeah.
But it's good to see he's still trying to play to his strengths.
I mean, in fairness to Gaz, he's probably as attacking as you are.
Yeah,
I mean, he's definitely one of the more aggressive players on the tour. There's not many players you can say that about. That
I don't think he plays. Did he play much World Rules over the years? I'm not really too sure. I think when I started playing pool, he wasn't really playing the tournaments I was playing.
I think he played a lot early.
Early on, did he?
Yeah. I think I seem to recall having this conversation in London when he was on the table. I'm fairly sure that he's got a history.
So that's a nice little shot there.
Probably when the IPA were originally World Rules, weren't they?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, see, I joined when the split happened, so I've obviously heard all about it, but I wasn't involved then, so I don't really know who was sort of involved. I can vaguely remember the England team back then, which was obviously an immense team. But I don't think Gareth was playing then, was he? I'm pretty sure.
No.
Was he late into pool? Because he's good at snooker, isn't
he? Yeah, a very good snooker player. I'm not sure. I mean, I know he tries his hand at everything, doesn't he? He's played on GB9, fairly recently, hasn't he? I know he's certainly played on it. Pretty sure he played on it last year. So yeah,
I think he's been to China as well, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Chinese
been to China for the Chinese 8 ball. And
this will be an interesting frame this now, because they're both just trying to get their balls in the right positions. Obviously, red's a strong favourite from here because of where that yellow is. So it'll be interesting to see what Gareth does. He's just going to try and, I think he just tried to get tight in behind that yellow. But his hands are tied really here. He's probably relying on Harjeet to make a mistake to give himself a chance to win this frame.
Another strong field this weekend, and of course, it's great to see the players coming across from other rule sets. You see John McAllister in the field this weekend, and Chris Melling, of course, has joined. Good to see Jake McCartney. Obviously, he's kind of a native to these rules anyway, coming from Australia, but he's featuring on a lot of the tours at the moment. Of course, Declan Brennan as well. So it's good to see some.
Yeah, we all just want to play pool at the end of the day, don't we?
Yeah.
The ultimate pool has started off really well this year. So the future's looking bright over there, and this is kind of the next one that you want to play really So it's good to see a lot of the Ultimate boys coming over playing this, and obviously a few of the other lads from other tours. So it's looking good. I just wonder if Gareth's going to maybe push the boat out and try and maybe play the plant here and find some sort of cannon on them balls at the top, because there's not really much safety or tactical shot. He's just going to, so he's going about it a different way, but well, to me that doesn't look on.
No, it didn't to me either. But I mean, the issue with playing the plant and trying to get into that at the top of the table, there's so much traffic, and it's one of those.
Pot of the red.
It's pot of the red.
Yeah.
There's so much traffic, and even if you manage to collide with that little trio of balls, there's no guarantee that the yellow comes out either. No. So it was in a tough spot there, regardless. But
I suppose that's not the end of the world.
No.
Doing that, he's got a ball up there. He's took one of his balls off. If he gets him with two, fair enough. But again, that's what I said earlier. He's relying on a mistake from Harjeet to give himself a chance to win this frame. Really,
I just wonder if both of those balls around that yellow both go now. I think one passes to top left, and once that's gone, I think it clears the path for the other one to top right.
Possibly.
But I mean, failing that, he can obviously play it in a second. Just play a cannon into the yellow.
Yeah, I think even the red goes off the red as well.
Yeah,
there's probably different options here, but I try not to play balls off balls because it messes with my mind.
It looks like, it's hard to see from this angle, but it looks like he can play the pot and then cannon into the yellow and red, and the kind of red looks like it's set to come off of the yellow and go over towards that.
Yeah, you got to be a bit careful. If he gets a little double kiss on that yellow on the top rail, on the bulk rail. No, it looks there like you're right, but because of where the angle the white's going into the yellow, that could throw the red over to the right a little bit. Yeah. He's played it off the red, like I said. Yeah, that's fair enough.
It's opened up everything. Obviously carrying two visits as well, so
yeah. See where the black is on the rail. They're not going to be gimmies them like they are on brand new cloths.
Yeah.
Like say the Ultimate Pool weekend last weekend where the cloths were immaculate.
Yeah.
The pockets played big down the rails. Whereas here, like I said earlier, they're quite heavy, quite slow. So if you're not accurate, they will sit over the hole. But he's missed that, so he's gonna. And it's gone safe.
Wow.
So that's the mistake that Gareth was looking for.
Was that a miscue? It just.
I don't know. It might have been half a bag. Maybe aimed it to the right and just cued across it a little bit.
Yeah.
He's got a tough shot now. There's no safety. I think the angle on this red to middle isn't screwing back into the two reds either.
No.
You can see there it's not. So.
And the problem, he's not even got the angle to be able to get below the other red to right centre to be able to then go and attack those two at the top of the table. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, he could get there, but you're forcing it in with top left hand side.
Yeah.
You could easily miss the pot. I don't even think the red to the right goes in off any of them two balls at the top either, if you play it firm. I think they're just too far away from the pocket to kick the red in. So yeah, he's got a big problem. Who's your money on this weekend then? The man in form?
I don't know. It's just I look down through the board and you just can't. You can't pick one.
No, you can't pick one, can you?
I mean, if I was looking for a bit of value I'd be looking a bit further down and having an each way bet on someone. I mean, there's a couple of massively informed players at 50s, like Chris Day's there at 50s, Matt Brierley at 50s, made a quarter-final in London. Adam Basu is just winning everything at the moment. He's 66 to 1. I think I'd probably be looking down there and just having a small each way bet. It's hard because literally, you know, the top dozen there, perm anyone, you know, from, you know, John McAllister's 20s, for goodness sake.
There's quality all over, isn't there?
Yeah.
All the way down.
You know, Josh Kane at 25 to 1. Arf and Dad. I mean, he's
flying now. He's 6-1 up.
He's in every final. He's in every final he plays at the moment. He's 28 to 1.
Yeah.
You know, that's some decent value. Jake Dillon Newlove just won an event on the IPA, 33 to 1.
That's a nice shot there. Meanwhile, Harjeet played the roll up to the reds off the side cushion, where he was always going to leave the yellow to the bottom rail, to the bottom corner. Sorry. Gareth knocked that in. He's played a lovely little pot and move there, and I think the black goes to the right centre.
Another one you see there, Rob Warren at 40 to 1, just won an event. Yeah. Hard to have any kind of outright bets when you look through the field.
Yeah, he just tried to dig into that with a bit of bottom and side just to kill the work off the cushion. But again, if you're playing on a table you've not played on, and the table is quite sluggish, it's so hard to cue them right and get the, you know, because you're probably going to swerve the white, which he done there, and missed it thin. So,
I mean, we mentioned that, you know, the table's slow, but it's somewhat relative, isn't it? I mean, it's slow compared to an arena table that you'd be used to. It's just slowed up a little bit, but it's still pretty pacey. For a club player, this is still be a pretty quick table.
Yeah, it's still a great table to play on. It's just not as easy as other tables.
Yeah.
Because of it's lost its slightly lost its pace.
Yeah. So after a fairly lengthy battle, Harjeet Singh's going to level things up at 1 frame each. And the first frame just took a few minutes, and that one is probably, I think that was a 14-minute frame. You won't see these two players involved in many 14-minute frames. Kendall, the Fox. He's 4-0 up against Mark Price. Greg Batten was 2-0 down against Neil Toms. He's now 3-2 up. Greg, probably by his own admission, not been on the best of form recently. He's had a couple of individual good wins, but not really managed to string anything together for a small while. But as they say, you can't keep a good man down. You expect to see him at the business end of a competition soon.
Here we go again, another split where the clearance is awkward on both sets. I'm not sure he can pot a yellow. We could pot the yellow on the black spot. That's a risky shot to play that, because it looks like a natural to go into the awkward yellow. Yeah.
Yeah, he's almost forced it.
I think he will play it because he's that type of player.
Yeah.
That's a sort of shot I'd play if I was playing well, but I think he'd be a bit nervous about it because of a few shots he's played so far.
Yeah, he said he's naturally an aggressive player, and I think that's probably would be in his mind to. He doesn't like it.
No.
He's going to hand it back over.
It's probably the right shot though.
Yeah.
So he is reds because he's pot a red off the break. So he's covered that yellow now. So Harjeet can't play that shot because it would have been kind of like a free go for Harjeet if he'd left that.
Yeah. JJ Form has made the trip up from Manchester and Savannah Club. He's currently 3 each with Jamie Clements. Dean Shields in action against Andy Williams. He's 4-2 ahead. Jez Graham 3-1 up against Ian Davenport. Ian, I think probably a lot of people would know as if they've been to any events at. He's often at the top table.
I know he's been around for years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Ian?
Yeah.
So I remember him from when I first started playing. I think he was quite a. I don't know what sort of level he's playing at now, but he was a sort of top player back then, I think.
Sean Story currently 6-2 up. He was hitting the ball really nicely in practice early. He's got a tough opening game against Hitan Patel, but he's doing well. Dan Eaton Lease, who's made a couple of deep runs recently. I think he made a final of the or a semi-final of the Challenger down at Stoke-on-Trent last weekend.
He went deep, didn't he? I'm sure he did.
Yeah, he definitely made a semi. I'm not sure whether he got to the final. Was it? I think it might have been him that Liam White beat in the final.
I think you might be right.
Yeah. So anyway, he's 6-3 up against Neil Randall. Neil is actually the bookie for the weekend.
Was that a foul? I think that might have been a foul. I don't know.
Well, if it is, then it's a foul snooker.
Yeah.
Because Gaz can't see anything. He's picking up the ball. So he's obviously you get an option in this rule set. You can either play from where it is and take a free ball. You have to nominate that ball, but you can play one of your opponent's balls, or you can pick up the cue ball. But if when you move the cue ball to the top of the table, it's no longer a foul snooker, then you're not allowed to then take a free ball. So you kind of get either or, apart from in the odd situation where you pick it up and there's nowhere behind the bulk line that you can see both sides of one of your balls, then you can still take the free ball.
Just give a little shout out to Steve Doohan. He's on the YouTube comments. He's one of our friends from Norwich, and he backed against me in the first round of the event last event. I duly lost. He got 3-1 on the guy that beat me. Come up to me straight after, said thank you very much. I just won a load of money. Thanks. I was like, cheers, Steve.
Oh, cheers then.
So, yeah, a little shout out to him.
That's all you need when you've just been beat. Oh, thanks for that, Chippy.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
That's all right, I'm over it now, though. Sorry, what did Gareth do there?
You've forgiven him.
Did he just miss cue?
Sorry, I was looking at the chat box.
Yeah, so was I. How very unprofessional of us. I'm just watching it back on YouTube, just see what he done. Oh, the red didn't go. Yeah.
Yeah,
the red didn't go, so he just set it up.
I'm going to turn this over. You can see him piling on side, and that's a foul. Just caught the yellow on the way past, and suddenly table over to Harjeet, and no easy opener, but 2 visits. I mean, all the balls are in the open. This is almost one of those situations where you can kind of play it as if it were black ball rules. You just you play the one up the rail as a shot to nothing, and if it doesn't go, it doesn't really matter. You leave it over anyway, and then everything's on.
I think that's probably the shot to play, to be honest. Two yellows near the black spot are ideal to play bottom right for the black.
Yeah.
Gareth now telling him that it was a foul. Don't think Harjeet realised it was a foul.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Gareth say something, so that could well be the case. Yeah, probably just given the amount of time that Harjeet's taken over the shot, he probably thought, well, does he know? Because if you've got two, then, yeah, the shot seems fairly obvious. Well, I say it seems fairly obvious. He's not going to play it.
No, see, sometimes... Well, I assumed he was going to go for the pot on that ball just because of...
Well, carrying...
why would you not play the one to the top right?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you're carrying it, so you've always got that comfort blanket if you do miss. It just takes all the pressure off, doesn't it?
Because going this way, he's got to make sure he runs through enough to leave an angle on the yellow down the cushion just to come out near the centre of the table. See, he's got to play his... Unless that's a plant. Obviously, that's a plant.
Yeah,
so he must be playing a plant. But
yeah.
We'll see after this shot. No, so he's come out. So he is playing around the back of these two reds, two yellows.
Yeah, a little bit more awkward, just given where the red and the black are. The black's kind of in the path of where you want to come, isn't it?
No, you should be right. You should be able to get the white between the black and red, and probably cannon the red. In your head, you're saying cannon the red off the side cushion.
Yeah.
He's played that. He's in the perfect position.
Black was in the way.
That is a strange shot.
Well, I mean,
he's flicked the side on to get that angle.
Yeah. I say that the black was in the way, but you're absolutely right. It wasn't. It wasn't. There was enough room there to be able to get through, but he's suddenly made this awkward. And this goes back to what you were saying a second ago. Why would you not go for that pot? Because if you drop it in, then you're 100% to make the clearance.
Exactly.
Whereas it only takes one small error, and suddenly he's now maybe like 50% to make the clearance.
He's probably going to play a safety, leave the white to the top right corner.
Yeah.
And just open them balls up. But yeah, you'd be disappointed not to clear up from there, or at least have the shot at the black.
Does he have... I mean, does he have an attacking option from here? I think maybe the...
Well, the only attacking option I can see is to double the yellow, the red left-hand cushion.
Back to where his hand is.
To the bottom right.
He's tried to tie up a ball.
Yeah, he did come down the table and look to see what he's leaving. If he left the white roughly where it is now, I think he wanted to be directly in line with the yellow straight up the table.
I was just wondering if you had a shot to double the red on the left-hand side cushion to try and get it in the mix over that right-hand pocket, but
yeah, I think the double kiss was close.
Yeah,
but
he's left a half a chance for Harjeet, and I mean he's basically thrown the gauntlet down here because he's saying you're gonna have to go for them. Why is he digging down into this?
Some people, I'm similar. I like to punch these in off the side cushion rather than playing dead weight.
Would you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So he's played that brilliantly.
Yeah, very good shot.
I mean, fair comment.
But now he's got to play another good one. So because of where that red is, that's in the perfect line. For the black.
Yeah.
So
do you take your medicine and leave it thin, or do you just try and get right across on that side cushion? Trouble is, he's a bit straight, isn't he?
Probably run through and play a double, to be honest.
Play the double, yeah. That's what he's doing.
Although I played on that stream table last week in Stoke and I didn't make one double. So I'd be missing this. Luckily,
he's not.
Say luckily Harjeet isn't me, but he did miss it.
Yeah, that's going to cost him the frame.
But again, that black isn't a gimme, so if he does go up and land short, he's played that well. They're not that easy at that pace in the middle. But you want to be as straight as you can on this just to make the black comfortable. He's just overdone it. He's got a bad cannon.
Oh.
He's got a good cannon.
How's your luck?
Yeah, settle for that.
Goodness.
Yeah, shot.
He's got away with one there a bit, but regardless, that was a big frame. Races to 7. Obviously, these early frames have huge importance. He chalks it up into his column. It's still very much, as we say, on serve. Greg Batten from being 2-1 down, now 5-2 ahead. Lee Kendall 6-0. Jamie Clements is 5-3 up against JJ Fall. Well, you heard that one echo around the room. He caught that with some power, but at the detriment of the cue ball, which he's lost into the middle pocket. Didn't get cannoned in either, so just ricocheted straight into the pocket. And yeah, you feel that.
Reds.
Yeah, Reds are there, aren't they?
Yeah. No gimmies though. Neither set of gimmies.
No, I was just hesitating because I was just looking at both sets, and yeah, the yellows have just got those 2 on the right hand side which don't really connect. And
I think if he goes Reds, his first ball is going to be the red to the extreme left and run down for the red below the yellow.
Yeah.
And then
work his way back up.
Yeah, and then you've got to try and work out your route from there. But those 2 reds together in the middle of the table.
In the middle, yeah.
The
I was
one
just
on
thinking
the left, you want to leave to the top right. You don't really want to play a plant because you're pushing that first red towards the red in the cushion, aren't you? So, but this isn't easy because where the black is as well, that's kind of like an obstacle for a lot of shots. That's in the way for a lot of good positional shots. So,
well,
he's choosing yellows probably because of that reason. So he's got to find a good way to get over to that right-hand side of the table.
Yeah.
So he's going to play this one, leave the white roughly where it is now, and stun that yellow in the middle of the table over to the side cushion. No. He's obviously choosing to leave that yellow, them 2 yellows on the right-hand side, he's obviously trying to leave that top one into the middle. But the reason I didn't say that is because it doesn't look like the yellow at the bottom of the table goes to the bottom right above the red.
Yeah, I think it goes. I think it's just.
You think it goes?
Yeah, I think it's just the angle. Yeah.
Okay. It's not worked out too bad, actually.
No, it's definitely not what he's played, but he's landed on.
But these are definitely no gimme either.
No.
If you've ordered a new tour shirt and not collected it yet, we've had a delivery. They're on the top table to the left.
Yeah, let's see.
He was almost trying to pinch a little bit in the pocket, wasn't he? Because he needed to top it through for the one down the rail next. Then
that made the pot a lot harder.
Yeah. If it was just a case of dropping that in, I don't think he ever really misses it. But he needed to get the cue ball moving a roll and a half forward, which.
There was a lot to think about on that clearance, like even perfect angles, even the last 3 balls he had obviously played the one down the rail next, left the one above the red and straight, and then left the half ball angle on the one over the corner.
And the thing is for Gaz, he's left Harjeet in the kind of perfect. I was just about to say he's left him in the perfect position to attack his big problem.
Yeah.
But
I think he's had a bit of a touch there. I don't think he's, unless he can see the one on the rail. He might be going cushion first. Oh, he could see it.
Just get through.
Oh my God, how bad are my eyes? So another chance for Harjeet.
It's tricky to see from this camera angle.
He needs to take this though, just for confidence at least. Because he's had a few chances already.
Yeah.
So he'll be disappointed to be 2-1 down in a minute. Yeah, so he's looking at one of these reds to middle first because they're also a tricky little pattern, aren't they? He obviously wants to clear the one at the bottom as soon as possible, but you can see from that camera angle that those two reds, that bottom red doesn't go past the other red.
Yep.
The plant can be awkward because you're going away.
Yep.
Could be going away with the white.
And the yellow's kind of playing havoc with it as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So every frame seems to just have a little obstacle in the way.
Yeah, there's nothing straightforward from it at the moment.
So just drop this in dead weight. Leave the angle on the one to the top to come down for the bottom red, and then the red on the left middle for the black. So it's just got to play some nice little positional shots here.
Just needs to be wary of the knuckle here.
He
Plays quite big, but yeah, can screw past it.
Well, he's used the knuckle well.
No, just yeah. I was going to say screw past it, but he actually just caught the very bottom part of the knuckle, didn't he?
Yeah, he's actually perfect now.
Yeah.
So go. Yeah.
Yeah, as you said, he needed this one for confidence, and
I think he's got to play a little screw into the black. To be honest,
yeah,
the black doesn't go anywhere down the bottom. I don't think so.
Does it not go past the yellow? I reckon
it might go off the yellow.
Yeah, I think it does.
But I don't think you want to play it well. Depends what little angle he's got here. If he gets straight on the black into that corner, then it's worth playing. But I think I'd rather play the cannon.
Looks like he agrees with you.
Yeah. He's just not got his touch at the minute.
No. Another tricky one.
But just make sure of this, and he'll take 2-2 from.
Oh, wouldn't he ever? Yeah.
How the frames have gone. Yeah. I don't think either player deserves to be in front, really, do they? Not yet.
No.
Yeah, good black.
Got it. So back on serve, and 2 frames each. Gareth Hibbott to break off in frame number 5. Neither player will walk away with a huge amount of confidence at the moment. Neither will think that they're firing, but at the same time, that, as we mentioned, the layouts just have been awkward. Nothing's really come out nicely just to be able to get into the rhythm.
Set them up wrong.
Yeah, set them up. Good spot.
Not even close.
No. Stevie Dempsey in a tough game. They've been playing that one for quite a while against Steve Singh. Stevie is currently 5-4 up. Steve always a really tough opponent to play against. You've got to fight him for every single frame. Alex Lewis is 5 frames each with Ashley Hardcastle.
Crunch them.
Oh, put his hand up in apology because that cue ball it was just saved by the knuckle.
Again, another tough clearance at first look.
Sean Story is safely through against Hitan Patel. He won 7 frames to 3. Neil Davey 4-1 up against Ben Young. Neil Toms has pulled back a frame against Greg Batten. Greg now leaves 5 frames to 4.
Nice little first shot there. He's now got a nice little angle just to drift into them 2 balls. So should open up after the shot. Nice. Nice shot. I was going to say, good chance of potting that.
Only left with a plant now, though.
Yeah. Yeah, he's unlucky a little bit.
Fair bit of distance between these two. It's one that you expect him to get, but
it's just where the red's going. If the red can just drift past the yellow and leave it down the rail.
it might be just looking at the other camera angle. I was going to say it might be straight enough, but I don't think it is.
Yeah,
Well, it was just straight enough that he could hold it.
Yeah, I thought the red was going to be travelling a bit further than that, but he might play that one now and then come back over.
Lee Kendall's navigated his first game 7-0, and Arf and Dad is through against Andy Days 7-1. JJ Falls levelled things up against Jamie Clements. He was 5-3 behind. It's now 5 each. Another little unwanted flick that he didn't plan on the yellow, but he's still in decent shape. Just needs to... There's a lot of traffic at the bottom of the table, so he just needs to find a place where he doesn't have hampered queuing, which he's done.
Yeah, you don't mind being hampered there. You should still knock this in. He's just got to strike it nicely, and he'll be on the black. Oh, and he didn't.
Oh wow! Did not.
So they're both missing balls that
Yeah.
you don't expect.
Just, I mean, Gaz is an absolute machine when it comes to potting balls like that, and I think ultimately the only thing that's cost him there that he was slightly hampered over the two yellows, because if he got his hand on the table, he's never missing that.
But that's not even a difficult shot, even
No.
with the hampered curing. It's not like the white was close to the yellows.
No,
So
I agree, but I mean it's I think it's taken it from a shot that he just never misses to one that, what do you say? It shouldn't have made a difference. So we're playing across 2 rooms this weekend. There's 20 tables in action. We've got 14, I think, in this room, and there's 6 in a room a little bit further away from us. And we're in the Grand Hotel, all the way up here in Blackpool. You managed to get on the beach yet? Ride on the donkey?
Nah, don't be silly.
All the Blackpool illuminations are out there. I heard them on the radio talking about it the other day.
Yeah, look very nice.
I just managed to glimpse them as I was driving into the town, but we came into the town quite high up, so I didn't really see them. But
yeah, they do look nice. We come in last night and they lit the place up. So
yeah,
it's very nice. I just wonder if he's going to try and play on the plant here, or try and give it a little flick. The top yellow. Missed the yellow. I think he played to cannon the yellow, but yeah, it's littered with mistakes this match. But I wouldn't be overcritical of both players, because as I said earlier, it's their first match, and the tables are playing a lot different to they did last event. So it's going to take some getting used to. And
I think Jack pretty much said the same thing. He's been practicing really, really hard for this match, and he said that he knows he's hitting a good ball, but he just struggled a little bit. It's always tough in your opening game as well, isn't it? Especially on the arena. certainly not time to panic yet for Harjeet. It's back on serve, but well, I think he'd walked away from the table, and Gaz was literally just about to stand up, and one of the last balls moving dropped in. Gaz was out of his chair. Now JJ Fall, from being 5-3 behind, is now taking the lead 6-5, so he's won 3 in a row against Jamie Clements. So from what looked like it was going to be a dry break, Harjeet presented with a very good chance, and one that he really needs to take.
It's all about that red bottom right. It looks like he's going to leave at last ball, which makes the shot to the black more difficult, but
Yeah.
it does go to the right centre, so he could play round off 2 or 3 cushions for that. If he can just hold this red into the middle, leave a nice angle, should be fine.
Yeah, it's a good angle.
Yeah, just run just a bit of top right hand side. Make sure you miss the yellow and don't go near the corner bag. Just use the 2 cushions.
No mistakes there from Harjeet. It's 3 frames each. Still nothing between the 2 players.
Greg Batten and Neil Toms, 5 each. Neil still got it. Alex Lewis is 6-5 up. Stevie Dempsey, 5 each. Some close games out there.
Indeed.
I think there will be a lot of nip and tuck games this weekend. God, that white's gone in. Again, another poor, well, can't say poor break, but just another bad split, a bad layout.
Yeah.
So he's going to go yellows, and it's just all about these 4 yellows to the bottom left, which are fairly tricky, but the yellow nearest the red down the bottom here will go to the top right once he's cleared these 2 at the top, so it could work out okay. Yeah, he's got a nice angle on this one, just to drift past the red in the middle of the table. Probably play on the yellow to the closest to the pocket if the one above it doesn't go. But if the one above it does go, he'll probably play that. So a lot of this is all about pace control, really, and that'll probably be a double on the black to finish with the last yellow being the one closest to the rail. nice shot. He can stun over. He could play for the one on the rail now if he wants, but probably play for the one. Yeah, he's got close to the red, which means he can play it in the middle, but he wanted to go into the red really to play that next, so he might go cushion now, straight yellow to the top right corner, and then black to the left middle. Yeah, that's perfect. He's taking these nicely. Yeah, nice clearance. So that'll give him quite a bit of confidence now. That's back-to-back frames. A couple of gooters. So Gareth will start to worry, I think, especially if he gets a good break here. Is that yellow going to drop? No.
Didn't get the power transferred through the pack, did he? Those 3 or 4 balls that are just clustered around the cue ball just didn't move anywhere.
And again, another tough layout.
Yeah. Ugly table. It's going to have to take yellows.
I think he was trying to get straight on this yellow to middle just to run through and leave a nice angle on the yellow near the black spot to play bottom right to then flick the yellow out on the right hand cushion, because that would make his life a lot easier. But he's probably going to play that one up the top cushion now. Shot.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah, good shot. Again, still a lot of work to do, because that red in the middle of the table is where you want the white second last ball. So he's now got to find the gap between the 2 reds to leave the angle on the yellow in the centre to drift up for the final ball up the top for the black. So nice. He's played for the yellow below that yellow he just played into the bottom right.
Yeah.
But he just didn't get into the white enough. But again, probably reasons for that. You can make excuses. So he's got to reroute again.
Another awkward pot, this one.
Yeah.
Again, slightly hampered, which will cause a problem on this shot.
And the trouble is, if he does pot this and screws down the table for either the yellow over the hole or the yellow into the left middle, he's relying on one of them 2 balls to get up to the last ball straight enough to hold for the black. So this is the typical case of chasing a finish, if you like. When you hear people say he's chasing a finish, this is what it is, because his white ball hasn't been perfect.
Another great pot.
So he's on the one over the aisle, which means he's now got to play a really good positional shot here to get a nice angle on the yellow on the black spot, which is where he's leaving his cue. But where I think the middle pocket is, the right middle pocket is kind of like the line you want to go up for that yellow. So this is very tricky.
Yes. It's one of those, and it's only the traffic causing the problem. If it wasn't for the fact there were loads of reds on the tables, this would be a really simple clearance. But
But he's
the
actually...
reds are just littered.
See, because I think it looks like there's a line here. He's looking at playing one cushion and hold, but it looks like there's a line to come twice across, and the white to then feed between the gap of the black and red. But because I think the cloth and the cushions are playing quite square, that line isn't on. So that's why he's looking at dropping it in and leaving a thin one. And now, as I said earlier, to get straight on that last yellow from the way he was going was going to be next to impossible. So he's got to play one more good positional shot.
Yeah, he's going to have to kill this.
Oh, he's thick enough to go into the red. I didn't realise he was thick enough for that.
Yeah.
So
that
he's
helps.
got a shot of the black. But again, this is no gimme.
Yeah, it's a tricky distance away from the cushion to make it awkward, but he played it well, and it's good. 4 frames each. Still nothing to pick between them, and that from the dry break from Harjeet. Neither player can just get the advantage when they need it and just push on. Jez Graham now 6-3 up against Ian Davenport. JJ Fall against Jamie Clements is on the hill. 6 each. Locked together, Greg Batten and Neil Toms still together at 5 each. Scott Pope just been called to the table. His game just about to get underway. That's those 3 o'clock session games. What time are you on?
4:30.
Yep.
I've got to play Dom Kearney. He's just won 7-0.
Oh, he did, yeah.
So he's in stroke, I guess.
I see Mark Shepherd's in the draw here, but he won't be turning up to a table any time today because normally my co-commentator, he's away in Canada at the moment with work.
He needs to get his priorities straight, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's in Canada for a week and a half and then plans to go to Vegas to play in the World Series of poker.
Blimey.
What a life.
What a life.
Ryan Bosworth in the room top table, please.
We've got one of them little clearances again. One of them layouts.
Yeah. There's just every frame, isn't it?
That was a great finish in the end from Gareth because, as I said before, with the 2 frames before that, Harjeet went bang bang 4-3, looking good. So Gareth has responded well, like all top players generally do. But this was a dry break from Gareth, so Harjeet's at the table. He's looking at reds. He's probably going to play this into the left middle. Good shot, very good shot. Oh, he's got a bad flick. Very bad flick. Still got a pot on one of these 2 down the bottom, but not nice angles, either of them.
Greg Batten's just inched ahead. He's 6-5 now against Neil Toms.
Yeah, nice shot. Looks like Harjeet's curing quite well at the minute. He may take this one at the top of the table first, if it's not too thin. But we were caught out on that last yellow that Gareth played last frame. We thought that was thin, didn't we? But it was thicker than it looked, so maybe he can hold quite comfortably off this. It's just whether that red over the middle, he's got enough room between the red and black to screw out for the black in the same pocket. If that is the case, he'll probably take these 3 at the bottom first. He's gone into a yellow and he's potted it. So that's a bad error.
No good in these rules.
No. But he was punished for a bad shot, so
yeah,
it's kind of what you want. It's not what he wants, but it's
Yeah.
kind of what you want as a rule set.
I mean, 100%, and you know, you kind of look at it two ways, because earlier Jack missed a pot and left it over the pocket and gained a massive advantage by missing a pot. So there's this rule set is kind of swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Yeah. There's pros and cons to all of them, really.
Yes, yeah. Where are you at on rules at the moment? You've obviously played them all, and what's your thinking?
The rules don't really bother me, to be honest. I mean, I like the international 8-ball rules.
Yeah.
That's where the big tournament. That's what the big tournament is playing in at the minute. So
I mean, they kind of suit your style more as well, don't they? They're more attacking. They reward attacking play. They reward good play.
Yeah. I don't because people used to say to me that black ball rules suit my game, but I'm such a natural world rules player because that's what I first started playing.
Yeah.
So I find world rules easier.
Yeah.
Like to adjust to straight away, whereas black ball, you know, I might have to think a bit more, even though, you know, it is kind of more an attacking rule set.
Yeah. But generally, I mean, you're not playing the tactical side of any rule set anyway, are you? So I mean, it's.
Well, you
the
say
thing
that
is, a breaking dish is a breaking dish in any rule set. So.
But you do have to. That's a nice shot.
Very nice.
You do have to.
Put his hand up though. So.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, you do have to know the tactics. Me and Stevie Dempsey last week in the Ultimate Pool Pro Event 4, the second event of the weekend, we must have been a half-hour fudge frame in the international 8-ball rules. And all we were doing, we were just trying to keep our balls on the table and lay snookers or just bounce our balls in the open, because there was two clusters where two of my reds were covered by about four of his yellows and two of my reds were covering the black. So I didn't want to touch the black. He didn't want to open my two reds out near his yellows.
Yeah.
So
bit of a stalemate situation.
Yeah, but as it happened, he played a couple of nice shots in the end and turned the frame into his favour, and he went on to win the frame. But I think there was quite a bit of interest in that frame as well, because a lot of the other players were there watching, because they were just trying to get some hint or because we're all learning on the go, aren't we? On the job.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting little battle, which unfortunately I lost. But Gareth here took out a nice clearance to go 5-4. So this standard over the last 3 or 4 frames, has improved a lot from the first 4.
Yeah.
On table 8, shorts again. Simon minus shorts again. Simon minus table 8.
Jonathan Coleman's just gone on the hill. The Welshman is leading Jordan Green 6 frames to 4. Which Lowther's gone through against Graham Duhamel. Brett Wild through against Alpesh Mistry. Danny Lease through against Neil Randall.
Oh, the balls flew in then, the white got kicked in, and then the blacks come around the angles and got kicked in as well. So he's had a bit of run there, Harjeet.
I think I pulled an absolute howler earlier, because I said that Neil Davey was the bookie for this weekend, but he's not, of course. It's Neil Randall.
Neil Randall, yeah. No, I think you did get it right. You were talking about
Did
Neil
I get
Randall
it right?
earlier. Yeah,
Oh, was I?
yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Just getting confused by my Neils. Jez Graham's just won against Ian Davenport 7-3. I think he was 3-2 behind.
No, he's 3-1 up, 3-2, 3-3, then he won
Oh,
the last
3-0.
4.
3-0, yeah.
I was keeping an eye on that one.
Yeah.
Again, not the best hit, but he's made a ball. And same old story. Which colour do you fancy? probably yellows if he can, but again, it's going to take a little bit of working out. To me, it looks like the only hard ballers are on top right, which he could probably double next shot. But then you've got the two below the black, which take a bit of working out as well. So he is going to go yellows.
Why do you think it is that every frame's going like this? Is it just that slightly slower cloth, do you think?
I think
or
so.
Is it?
You just get more clusters, more, you get more balls over the hole because balls don't drop as freely over the hole. So yeah, I think you just get a little more clusters because of that. So he's going to attack this corner first, putting those left-hand side on it just to throw the white around the angles. And I was going to say he's landed on the double, but the red's just come over and block that pocket, but I think the yellow was in the way anyway, to be fair. So yeah, he's got one problem area now.
Yeah, he's got the yellow adjacent to the right middle where he can try and attack that ball, but the problem is there's no nice way to come at it, is there, because of the two reds above it?
Yeah, that's why he's got to play a double, and I think he's got to play this yellow over the left middle now. If you just nip it in with a bit of right hand side, just flick the red away as well, and then he'll probably have a shot on the right yellow to the right middle to go up for the double. So it's not the ideal way of going, but sometimes balls land like that and you have to be forced into a different way.
Andy Williams has gone through against Dean Shields, so that's Dean out.
He doesn't like this for side, so it's important to get a little nudge on that red just to make sure the double has a full pocket. Looks like he's going to attack the yellow now. That's a great shot. He needs a bit of luck. It's a good shot.
Very nice.
Yeah. Sometimes when you do play cannons, like you want to play them controlled, and that was a controlled shot, but at the same time it could have gone wrong because, as you said, where that red was and the line the white was going into them. But it's come out well, and I think these two down the bottom end of the table, I think they both go. I know the one over the hole, there's enough room there for the white to fit past the red. We had a camera angle up a little while ago which saw that.
Scott Pope in action against Aaron Batt. Scott from quite close to me actually, down in Somerset. He's was making waves last weekend, made the semi-final of the Challenger Tour down in Stoke.
That's a good camera angle there. You can see it's a little. Oh, he's missed the yellow.
So cut it.
That's a shame. We'll never know what he was going to play, but he actually, that little flick on the black would have meant he could have played the yellow over the hole and played the yellow probably to the right corner.
I suppose the only saving grace is that the yellow's just blocking the path of those two reds up there now, but obviously in control of two of the pockets.
You might even see Gareth play...
Deliberate foul?
No, not a deliberate foul, but
No?
just bounce the red out, bottom left, because of where the yellow is top right.
But do you not think play the red onto the yellow and take that pocket, because then you've got both of the pockets?
If he's guaranteed to get the pocket, yeah.
Yeah.
Then that's not a bad shot.
I'm not sure it's easy to get the pocket from where he is, but if he played the one into the middle and came further across the table, I think it'd be a lot easier shot.
Yeah. You don't want to leave him a shot where he's got an angle to just hit the yellow out and then the white goes up towards the other yellow and red.
Yeah.
You just don't want to leave him a chance where you can get both balls out in one shot. So I'd still say he's in control of this frame. I'd rather be reds than yellows here.
Would you?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because of where that yellow is more dead at the top than what the red is bottom left. So I think he's going to look at bouncing this out, like I said. Well, he's just... biding his time, really, because he's not really got a lot on here. So we'll see what Harjeet does. It's probably a good idea for him to try and get that yellow up to the top right-hand corner somewhere.
Yeah, if he gets it in that area, at least it gives them options.
Yeah, I think he can hit it thin enough to get it up there. He's got to watch the white. Oh, he's able to hold the white. That's a great shot. Needs to sit there somewhere. Yeah.
That's great.
It's not bad.
But that comes back to what I was talking about a second ago. I think if Gareth had played that deliberate foul and taken this bottom left-hand pocket, now he obviously doesn't have the option to do that. I don't know. Maybe not.
Reds still aren't. They're still not in a bad position because he'll probably leave that red near that bottom left corner at the minute, because he'll probably work on getting the top right hand corner now. Doesn't want to put too many reds, so he might double this red across, the one just below the bulk line. Double it across, grab the pocket. Well, he's looking to see if that yellow is frozen, so he's going to be playing the red onto the yellow. I don't know what he's trying to do here, unless he's just trying to kill the yellow for definite.
Yeah, I think that's quite clever actually, because he's put the other yellow in a place where Harjeet can't now use it to try and develop his problem ball. So,
but now Harjeet can play the red onto yellow, leave the yellow over the hole, and then Gareth's in a really bad position with 2 shots.
Yeah.
So whether Gareth thought about that, I don't know. But see, now he's played the telling safety, as John Virgo or Dennis Taylor says.
On table 16 in the other room, Bob Love, Chris Melling.
Well,
Bob Love, Chris Melling, table 16.
you just heard Chris Melling being called to the table. Table 16. He's going to be playing Bob Love, who's part of the furniture, isn't he? He's been around. He's been around for forever and a day.
So now Gareth is in a bit of bother, so he's going to have to pull out his tactical skills here.
Well, Greg Batten and Neil Toms must be in some kind of tussle over there, because that scoreline's been 6-5 for about half an hour and still remains that way. Stevie Dempsey and Steve Singh just over on table 3, which is not too far from this table. They're currently 6 frames apiece. And that game has been going on just shy of 2 hours.
So Gareth, he's just put that red in front between the 2 yellows, which makes the clearance a lot harder for Harjeet if he gets a chance. And
the Neil Davey, Ben Young score has been 5-2 for as long as the Greg Batten game's been 6-5. Kyle Brown's just come to the table. He's opening his account against Adam Basu. He's got a really tough game there against Adam. In fact, I think, if memory serves me correctly, I think he played Adam in well, it wouldn't have been the London event because he didn't play in it. I have a feeling. When did he play Adam? Played him recently on the IPA, I think. And I think I can't remember whether he beat him or not. That was a close game. I think he lost it actually. I think he was ahead and lost. Anyway, Carl's just in action against Adam, so we'll keep a close eye on that game.
2 deciders. You said Stevie Dempsey, didn't you?
Yeah.
And Steve McHenry and Harvey Perry. I don't know them 2 players, but they're in a decider as well. Both games coming up to 2 hours, which is a long time for a best of 13, I think.
Isn't it? Yeah.
But as I said, I think there will be some long games this weekend. Not as many dishes.
Yeah,
a lot more tactical.
It's funny. I kind of opened the show at the last match saying we don't tend to see too many tactical frames on the arena. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. I think at the London event it was only a handful over the whole weekend, and a lot of these are coming out that way.
But that stream table played quite big and really fast.
Yeah.
And the splits on the breaks were just immense. I played on there 2 or 3 times. Played Jack on there as well when he beat me in the final. It's just an open game.
Scott Pope has now won his second frame against Aaron Batt. He's 2-0.
What do you think from here then? If you're in Harjeet's position, he's dominating big. I think the key here is just to not push the boat out too soon.
Yeah.
Which I know I do quite regularly.
Yeah, it's about when to pull the trigger, isn't it?
So
I mean, it would be easy to go for them from here.
He is really looking at.
I think he is
trying to do something here, but I think he's just going to cover this bag again, get it over the hole. Would have liked that right over the hole.
Left the red to middle as well.
Yeah, but
I don't know what advantage that gives Gaz, but
he might look at trying to just push the black somewhere near a cushion, or push it further up the rail towards the yellows if he can, towards that top right hand corner pocket. But he's not looking at it, so he'll probably try and sit one of these balls over that corner. No. I think he's just trying to force Harjeet into going for him.
Yeah.
If he can play this plant dead straight, the red will bounce away from the pocket and the yellow will stay there. So it might be worth playing.
Jonathan Coleman, who was, I think he was 6-2 up, he's certainly 6'3", he's now 6'5". So Jordan Green fighting back.
So he's looking at the plant now. He knows how to play it. Ideally, he'd want the white near where the red is, near the top left-hand corner. That would be the ideal place to play this from. That's a big shot, because if this does go wrong, he goes second favourite for the frame, whereas at the minute he's in big control. So big decision. Doesn't like it. It's just too thin on it to make it comfortable.
I see Stevie Dempsey's won that deciding frame against Steve Singh. I was just trying to get a look to see who was at the table in that game, because that frame had been going on a while, but it's Stevie Dempsey who comes through the winner of that Hill affair. Greg Batten's won against Neil Toms. So 7 frames to 5. Carl Brown now 2-0 up against Adam Basu.
Well, he chose to not play the plant in the end. It was just too risky, because he knows he's in such control of the frame. So he's just bounced the yellow out, which is fair enough.
Liam White, another man on a hot streak of form at the moment, having won the Challenger event last weekend. He's 2-0 up against David Stock. Wade Morley in action. The man from up there in the northeast is 2-1 up against Jamie Birch.
I owe Wade Morley a couple of drinks. He bought I bought a Q case off Stu Green from Green Bays last week, and he picked it up for me, so I owe him a couple of drinks, I think. Peter Mullaney against Tom Price. That should be a good game. Peter Mullaney is big dog. He's our Norwich Interleague captain, and he's 2-1 up.
He wasn't the guy that you played at London, was he?
No, that was Lee Smith.
That was Lee, yeah, of course it was, yeah.
So now Gareth, he's got to cover this bag, bottom left. I think that's all he's got. He's just got to bide a bit of time again. But again, once he does cover this bag, Harjeet is just going to bounce the yellow out. Oh, that's pulled in. That is rolled in. I'm sure it has.
When we talk about this game, sometimes it's like a game of chess. You want to keep your pawns in play, and Gaz is slowly taking them out of action.
So if he's covered the yellow, then that's a good shot.
I think he can still get through to that.
No, he can still get through to it.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if he can. Oh, he can snick the yellow in bottom left. So if he does pot that, it's not as simple as it looks. Nothing's really changed here apart from Harjeet's just taking control, and every time Gareth comes to the table he's just trying to bide a bit of time. But Harjeet's played a good frame so far. And it's a big frame as well, 5-5 or 6-4. So it's a nice pot, but
yeah, that's no good.
You want him to be on the yellow to the middle next.
I mean, it's not the end of the world. He still controls the table, but
yeah, he's still in a strong position.
Yeah, he'd like to just get this one put to bed now.
He's looking at playing the one over the corner. This is, if he can see enough of it to screw out, then fair enough.
Yeah, doesn't feel like he can though, does it?
He's got to get low half of the table. Good shot, great shot. It's one of them. You kind of, the white is going to go somewhere over there.
Yeah.
You just.
And this looks like he can play this thin enough just to come above the black and hold.
Probably play around 2 cushions. I would have thought.
Yep.
For the black to bottom right.
Yep. You're right.
Watch that white. Yeah. So he deserved to win that frame. He played a good safety battle there. Won the safety battle. That's a lesson in how to play world rules.
So, keep looking at scores around the room. Neil Davey from 5-2 up is now 5 frames to 4. Scott Pope's now 4-0 up. Carl Brown's now 3-0 up. Next up on the main arena table is going to be Rob Warren against Chris Hampson.
Nice split from Gareth. I think he's got a choice of 2 colour sets here. I think yellows are probably the best set. He's looking at the red to middle. It's a nice angle to go up for the one on the left-hand cushion. So yeah, can't blame him for going reds either. I think the red goes to right middle, so we can run this through, leave the white where his cue is there, and then he's got quite a nice little finish actually. That looks fine.
Bob Love's won the first frame against Chris Melling. He's 1-0 up. Matt Briley's won the first 2 against Scott Kennedy. Wade Morley's won another frame. He's now 3 frames to 1. Tom Price, Peter Mullaney, 2 frames each.
That could go all the way, that one.
Lack Baden's in action. Lack played actually on Monday night, I think, in the pairs.
Yep, with Hitan, wasn't it?
With Hitan Patel, yeah. He's 2 each with Carl Howe.
So he took these out well. To take a 6-5 lead. Just.
Yeah. Advantage back with Gaz. But Harjeet does have the break in the next. What he'd give for one of those easy layouts that's been evading them for the whole of the match so far.
That was the first frame where Gareth had a choice of 2 colour sets which were quite nice.
Yeah.
But still had to play a good first shot. Red to middle. Landed nice on the one up the rail, and then the last 3 were just roll-ins really.
So huge break. Goes without saying, Harjeet needs to find a ball, and that
just lost the
is a disaster.
Tried giving that some. I think
he just put some more into that, didn't he?
Yeah, I think you need to give it a bit more than you maybe normally would.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just lose the white, and
these reds look decent.
They do.
Again, all the traffic kind of converged into the middle of the table. There's best part of 10-11 balls in just that small space, but all the reds have a pocket, and they kind of connect as well. Just about controlling the cue ball, this one. One of those, he's probably just going to work his way down the table, do you think? Or does he want to get rid of the one at this end of the table?
I was just then trying to find out the best way. I think there's no obvious dot to dot. You generally look at the last ball for the black, and there's a case for the red to the bottom left to be his last ball for the black to the top right hand corner. But he's obviously chosen to get on this red in the middle of the table first. And that'll probably then be the red to the left middle. Yeah,
this was one of the awkward ones, wasn't it? It was hard to get on later in the frame. So
because we can't see what on our screen how tight that is past that black, but he can obviously screw out and play.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
Yeah, play a choice of 2 reds, but he'll probably want to screw back now enough so he can play the red to the top right to run through for the red to the middle. But no, he's chosen a different way, so again he's going to play in an area, and that area will either be on the right hand side of the table just below the middle, or come round off, play a bit firmer and play for both in the middle, which he has.
That seems to have pinged.
Yeah, he overhit that a little bit, but you can see there it's just pulled up quite quickly. So
yeah.
But this is why I said about the last ball for the black being that one bottom left, because it would have been a natural shot to land on the black top right. Now he's going to play red to right middle.
He's going to punch this in as well, isn't he? It's, you can't drop it in. That's good.
So he's now going to go bottom left.
And stun across to the right hand side and take the...
Well, no, I think he wants to be where the red is now with the white, so he can just soft screw it for the black bottom left.
Yep.
But the reason I didn't like the black bottom left is because that yellow above it is just it's just a bit of a pain in the neck, you know. I just want a bit more room for the black. So
I think his angle's taking him over the right hand side. I think that's the way he's looked. He's going to have to stun across to the right and take it top left.
Yeah. So, but there's again.
It's got the wrong angle here.
It was always going to be the wrong angle, I thought. So, and this is not an easy shot because he's got to try and. I don't think he can run through off one cushion with left hand side. I think he's got to stun off the side cushion somehow. But where them two yellows are. The one nearest the middle especially is just in the way.
Neil Davey now on the hill against Ben Young, 6 frames to 4. Scott Pope now 5-0 ahead. No. Well, I say no. He's got a shot, but it's not what he wanted, and it's horrible. But if anyone in this room, you fancy him to make single ball pots, and this is a player who has had back-to-back 147 breaks on the snooker table, single ball potter. Oh, I was just bigging him up.
Yeah, that was a tough pot though.
It was a tough pot. Yeah, really hard.
He's not left a shot, but he'll be in a bit of bother after this. So it looks like we could have a decider. I see Wayne Brown commenting on YouTube, just calling me a really bad commentator. So thank you very much, Wayne. Appreciate that. He's another mate of mine from Norwich. Another one giving me some stick. Danny Jones, not a fan either. Happy days. Oh dear. We do try.
Oh mate,
we do our best.
Like,
oh, he's retracted his message. Bless him. Unlucky, I saw it.
Oh no, mate. Don't worry about that. He's at every event, so he's one of our favourite trolls.
Surprised Harjeet left him a shot at that, but if he's on this yellow to middle, happy days for Harjeet, and he is.
Danny likes you now, GP.
Yeah, good man. I like Danny.
Yeah,
he's all right. Not as much as Aaron. Aaron a mess? Is that his name?
Oh no, he is a mess. Yeah,
he is a mess. Yeah, he likes you though.
It's
We all love Nick Finn, really.
Someone's got to.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, it does look like it's going to go to 6 frames each. It's I'm not sure.
Just didn't get through that one enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure. An hour ago, I'd have fancied them to take the finish out because they were both really struggling. But from here, he's suddenly cueing the ball a lot better than he was earlier. And another hill game.
Oh, I don't know why I thought he missed that.
There we are.
16%. Here we
Yeah. Race to 1.
go. Yeah. It's going to be Gareth's break, so he'll be favourite for the frame and match. But we know what the break has been like so far.
Neil Davies won his match. Scott Pope's on the hill. He's 6-0 up against Aaron Batt.
Here we go then. Let's hit them well. Deserves a ball. Got a ball. And it's nice. It's all about the first shot. Reds were my first thought.
Oh, I just noticed you had a buy in the first round.
Me?
Did you?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're
Sorry.
straight into round 2.
Yeah. I think a lot of us were, though, weren't we?
Is that because you're good?
Must be. Something like that.
Yeah.
So Gareth here, he's probably going to play the red.
Oh mate, you got a stinking little.
Oh wait, calm down.
You've got Adam Davis in there as well. Jake Dillon, you love. You got a. Well, let's be honest. They've got a stinking little section, haven't they? They've got Chippy in theirs.
Well, Gareth went yellows, which I'm a little bit surprised at, and he's missed the first yellow, so he is yellows. So Harjeet is on reds. And I quite like the look on reds from the start, so I think he's going to have a... So this is Harjeet's chance. I think that red near the yellow goes bottom left. So these 4 down the bottom are pretty easy. It's all about what he wants to leave for his last ball for the black. Just needs to keep going a bit more. Would have loved another couple of rolls on that white. Nice shot, nice shot. So I reckon he'll go right. I like right centre, left centre, and then bottom left for the black, but I'm not sure he's looked at that yet. I think he's going to go bottom left. Bottom left first, and then the last 2 reds then become a little bit.
Just a bit
More
tricky, isn't it?
tricky,
Yeah, just trying to connect.
I definitely think if he plays the one middle right first, just screw back a little bit,
Yeah.
leave a natural angle just to drift onto the yellow on the cushion, and then stun up for the black. That would be my way of going. He's looking at it now.
Do you fancy him from here? He's in
Yeah.
2 minds to.
He's looking. He just doesn't like the
Doesn't
little.
like it.
Because he knows if he quits on this shot, he's going to be too thin on the red.
Yeah.
All depends what you fancy out there at the time. But that is definitely the right way to play.
Have you ever taken this long over a shot?
Yeah.
In your life?
Yeah,
Are
easy.
you sure?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
I got time fouled once at Yarmouth, and then he's going bottom left here. Look, I'm not sure what he's thinking because he's still got to play the same shot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's looking at running through and leaving the gap, but you have to go far enough up to make the pot and positional play comfortable.
Yeah.
So if he gets it, fair play. That's what he fancied at the time, and
it's a big angle. It's a big
yeah,
angle.
No, I think he's all right. I think he's okay, actually.
Just needs to commit.
Yeah, I was just saying I time fouled at Yarmouth once when that was a minute shot clock, and the guy come to the table with ball in hand. He put the ball on the table, had a think, got down on the shot, and he got time fouled straight after. So I had ball in hand. So I time fouled and basically got ball in hand. Thanks very much. Yeah, he's just got to dink this in, really. Little soft screw. Yeah.
That's
okay.
nice. Yeah,
nice.
That's really nice. He played that well.
He's probably always going to overhit it slightly.
Yeah. But this is fairly comfortable.
Yeah, well played.
Very nice from Harjeet Singh.
We look forward to the interview. Quickly get out there.
Yeah, I'm
going to
have to grab him quickly. Well,
right.
Thanks very much for joining us, Sean. That was
an intriguing watch.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Great game to watch.
Nice one.
And well done to Harjeet.